I think I'm gonna get a bit of heat from this, but I'm going to make the argument that Jonathan Anderson's debut menswear collection at Dior reminds me a whole hell of a lot of that of Alessandro Michele at his first menswear show for Gucci a decade ago. Now hear me out. Both men absolutely wiped the slate clean compared to the designer that preceded them. Both men hard launched new perspectives on the idea of what modern menswear should look like, making an argument for a new take on dandyism. And both of these menswear shows acted like sartorial lightning rods, electrifying the industry. Where the difference is the expert way that Jonathan was able to incorporate the codes of the Dior house into his collection, whereas with Alessandro Michele, it was as if he was bending the heritage of the Gucci house to his own creative will. Now, back in the day when Jonathan first started at Loewe, there weren't any real codes in terms of sartorial design. But with Dior, Jonathan was spoiled for inspiration. With an archive that is one of the most impressive in fashion, he was like a kid in the candy store, and he was pulling references from all over the house to create everything from the construction, to the fabrication, the materials used, to the embellishments that he used in the collection. Even the porcelain egg that was the invitation for the actual show was something that he discovered in the archives of Dior. It was a really great visual messaging because it spoke of renewal. And perhaps the whole question of which came first, the chicken or the egg, which could be extrapolated out to this eternal debate about what happens when a new designer comes to a house. Do you sidestep the past like Alessandro did at Gucci, or do you fold it into the future of the house, just like Jonathan did deftly at Dior? The perfect example of this were the cargo shorts that Jonathan sent down the catwalk. The millefeuille pair that saw layers of fabric, in fact 7.5 meters of fabric to be exact, sprouting out from the back. They were a nod to the 1948 haute couture dress designed by Mr. Christian Dior himself, called the Delphite. Or the other shorts that stood away from the body at the front, which was inspired by Mr. Dior's La Cigale dress, which Jonathan has said is one of his all-time favorite fashion designs because of the feat of engineering of that particular piece. There was also the almost obligatory nod to the bar jacket, this time on these very slender models, giving them an hourglass figure. But what was also interesting was how Jonathan explored fabrics. I found that to be particularly creative. Taking such a retro material like moire and trying to make it relevant for a modern man could be challenging, but the designer dared to go there, which is exactly what you want to be doing in fashion. You want to be daring. Jonathan also paid homage to Victoire de la Castellane, who has been designing Dior's whimsical jewelry for over 25 years. Her influence could be seen in ladybug and daisy cufflinks, and the floral and fauna jewelry that was worn in the show, which was a sweet touch. With this collection, Jonathan beautifully walked the line between honoring the codes of Dior's past while recoding them for a new generation of Dior devotees. This is what makes his debut at Dior such a standout.